you've got both England and France at home. This time round, irrespective of the strength of those two teams, with the team and the squad you've got, is it realistic? Would you accept anything less than the two wins there?
I think every time Scotland play at BT Murrayfield now, it's sort of, they go into it believing that they can and they should win. And I think this year is going to be special when you've got capacity crowds back in. I know that Murrayfield's been sold out for months now when it comes to these two fixtures, and we've got the clarity that they'll be going ahead with packed out grounds, and it'll be special. I think that opening weekend, the late kickoff on the Saturday in darkness under the lights at Murrayfield, with the fans will have a few.
They've had a good few days. They've had a good day on it, won't they?
Exactly. So I think it'll be a really, really special atmosphere. And I think Scotland now expects the depth and quality of squad now, that the fans do expect Scotland to win their home games. And when you look at the way that Scotland's fixtures have fallen for this season, if they can get that win against England in the opener and potentially be going down to Cardiff, to try and back up their first win in Wales for 20 plus years with another win, it would be a big start for Scotland. But it's always a tough one to call. I've been made to look like a fool on many occasions going into Six Nations. So
just ask this one: what's happened with Adam Hastings? Because at one point he was seeming to me to be looked at as a contender for Finn Russell's place, and now he's not in the squad at the moment.
It's a really interesting one. I don't think Adam has been in particularly poor form at Gloucester.
No, I don't think he has.
At all. I think he's had some really good games. He's been starting there. And I think for me, the challenge that's come is that Finn Russell's nailed on starter. And therefore Gregor is looking to who he's going to bring off the bench. And I'm surprised that he doesn't have Finn and Adam and another 10 in the squad. And as it is, it's Blair Kinghorn who's going to be likely to be on the bench to cover 10, to cover wing, to cover 15. I guess if I'm looking at it, with Blair's ability to play right across the back line, he potentially can pick a squad with 6-2 split on the bench and know that he's got the bases covered in the back, so long as he doesn't pick up
and that is a bit of a de rigueur thing at the moment, 6-2, isn't it? But a lot of people, are saying you really do need that bulk all around, because if you fall down there, it doesn't matter what you have outside.
Yeah, and I think also when you look at the makeup of the other players in the squad, that maybe looks, you maybe have the opportunity to put Rory Darge on the bench as an out-and-out open-side scavenger, who wouldn't otherwise get a spot because he's an out-and-out open side. You could put him on the bench, potentially a back row, second row option, and ultimately load your bench up with forwards, because you know that against England you're going to have that power in the final 20 coming off the bench. Against France you're going to have real power coming off the bench. In order to stay in the fight and win these games, you need to be in it for 80, and I think that's maybe what's pushed Gregor into this decision. But it's a really tough call for Adam Hastings, because he's done well in that Scotland jersey in the past few seasons.
Gregor Townsend, well, he's been in charge now since 2017. He's going to see the side through to the World Cup in 2023 next year. How would you assess his performance? And would you, if they don't make significant dents in the... I don't think that his job would be predicated on winning the World Cup, because Scotland have not been near to doing that. But get a decent showing in that. Is he the more sort of man? I mean, he's very young still. To give another 4 years to.
Gregor's an excellent coach. I question at any level of any professional sport the length of time that a single coach can be in place as the head guy. Obviously, Alex Ferguson's a great example of turning over the first team coach while he managed, and he'd do that regularly. You don't see that done all that much in rugby. Warren Gatlin's probably a real exception to the rule. You look at the way the All Blacks rotate coaches in and out. Gregor is an excellent coach, and as you say, he is a young coach. I think he will be measured on the Rugby World Cup, and when you look at the pool again, for Scotland, South Africa and Ireland in that pool. I think getting out the pool is a success given that group, and particularly based on the experiences of Japan 2019, when Scotland tumbled their way out of the Rugby World Cup. I think based on recent history, he had a good Six Nations last year. He's had a relatively good autumn, albeit the South Africa game was really disappointing because Scotland didn't challenge the world champions and were almost predictably suffocated by them.
Yeah.
But I think the key, this is going to be a championship whereby we'll hopefully find out that Scotland are continuing to be on this upward curve under Gregor Townsend, and that he has depth now in that squad that very, very few Scottish coaches have been able to enjoy for a long time.